Welcome back to Artists on Artists on Artists on Artists. This week, we're talking sound effects in movies and TV. We've assembled 4 leading Foley artists to come tell us about their job.
Sound design is an entirely different game than you might imagine it is from watching a movie. The sounds you're hearing, a foot stomping, a glass being shattered, those aren't sounds that are being picked up while they're shooting. Those are sounds that are added later by these craftsmen.
These Foley artists come from various backgrounds and various companies, but they've all mastered one thing, the art of making noise.
Now listen in.
Wind. Okay, that was a horse. That was a horse.
That was great. So moving.
I was actually going for sheep.
Okay, well,
Wow.
what was the sheep's terrain they were walking on?
You guys want to guess, or do you want me to tell you?
I'll say I thought it was grass shortly cut.
I
It
picked
seemed
up.
like sheep opening a door, walking across a hardwood floor, and then bathing in the grassy fields of Austria.
You guys were all really close. It was grass onto dirt road.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
So started grass, turned into dirt road.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
If
Was
I
it
had-
old dirt or new?
Dirt. It was dirt of the earth. So no new dirt.
Isn't it crazy how mud has different sounds depending on what season you're in?
Yeah.
That's really crazy. Yeah.
Because mud in the summer is more just like dirt.
It's more.
But then mud in the winter is more like snow. Yeah. It's great.
It's wonderful. Well, shall we go around?
I have to say, this is the most exhilarated I've ever been.
I've
Having this
got-
conversation just now, knowing that we're about to have that kind of conversation for an hour, that electrified me.
Dare I say, I've got chills. That was the sound
There's
of
something I
chills.
do when I'm so excited and I hear it. And it's very small, but I'm doing it a lot right now. And I hear it really quietly. You can hear my teeth. Ready? Listen.
It's not even
That's
very
your
One
quiet.
of my
pretty
favorite
loud.
sounds
It's pretty
is
loud.
lips pulling apart to reveal the smile of a tooth.
Oh, and I am smiling ear to ear. I know they're on a podcast right now, but it's our medium to
This
make
is
the sounds.
our medium is sounds without faces.
Absolutely. It's taking everything in me not to touch this microphone. I want to make little noises on it. I want to touch it and I want to,
Mhm.
but I know that it's for the sounds that are coming
Yes,
from my mouth
I want to
today.
grab this microphone and ring it like a corn on the cob to make a sound of a tambourine.
I want to shove it into a bucket of grapes to make the sound of someone plunging their hands into some guts.
See, all I want to do is slap the hell out of it because I do only physical slaps. I'll start. My name is Brittany No.
Hi, Brittany.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Brittany. No.
Brittany No. I had that nickname growing up because I always touch stuff and my mom would go, no. So that's why I'm Brittany No. It just stuck. I'm so excited to be here today. It's been reported, so I don't want to brag, but I was named Time Magazine's #1 violence fighting Foley artist. They bring me in for
Combat scene.
combat. I'm about human flesh hitting each other. And that's what I've been doing for 25 years. Wouldn't want anything else.
Wow, so good to have you here. My name is Andrew Herzog, son of documentary filmmaker Werner Herzog.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi,
Hello.
Andrew.
So good to be here today. I do Foley for Animal Planet and nature documentaries. So a lot of the Animal Planet documentaries are shot with a very wide lens. They're many hundreds of feet away from the animal, so they cannot get too close to hear the sounds they make. So a lot of that is done in studio by me.
Wow, that's
That's
amazing.
disappointing. I would want the animals to make their normal sound. Do you ever
Isn't
feel
it
like you're
rather
lying?
a drag?
Do you feel like you're lying sometimes because you don't know what those animals would really sound like?
Yes, I do feel guilty assigning personalities to animals who may not have them. Who am I to know if a wild parrot says caca in an excited manner or in a fearful way? Sometimes you have to make these decisions for yourself.
Wow,
That's
great.
creative.
My name is Norman Legru. It's so nice to meet all of you. I specialize a lot in fantastical, scientific, wild, surprising, really high concept kind of stuff. What does an alien tree swish like? What does a Pegasus putting his claw on some sort of orb sound like? I do a lot of that stuff, and I actually work by myself in Traverse City, Michigan. I have my own Foley studio that I built.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
it's
You
really
built
nice to
it?
be around other artists because I feel like I'm just there because people find me and people, it's really nice. But
And Mr. LaRue, I will say, Mr. LaRue, correct?
yes, Norman,
Norman.
Mr. LaRue, yeah.
Norman, Mr. LaRue, I will say that your zooms and whooshes are some of the best in the business.
Yes.
Oh, please. They're among hundreds of others that are good.
No, we
That's
are
very
really.
nice of all of
I'm
you.
always trying to recreate them. I just love them so much.
But you're
So
known.
nice.
You're really known specifically for being. I don't know. I don't know how to describe this, but a lot of us try to emulate real life, and then a lot of us will write. And you are a writer, I believe, because we don't really know what aliens hitting together sound like. And I think you use your creative imagination and you create that, wouldn't you say?
I have a mind too. I like to go some places in my head, and I like to find places, and I like to see somewhere, and I like to say, what would that be? If that's writing, then that's writing.
I saw your work on Lord of the Rings when the Pegasus coughed.
Yeah,
I
Lord of the
said-
Rings Zero.
And there's no way. There's no way to know what that sound would be like in reality because the Pegasus doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But so you made that up.
I made that up, and it actually came to me. I was in a stable, and I saw a horse cough. And I thought, well, if a horse had wings, how would the cough reverberate through not just the body, but also the wings? And so that's where I got the kind of, because
Oh
I
my
imagined
God.
a cough going through wings.
Because, yes, that is also a fantastical creature. So the way you elevated the creature with the second noise, because a Pegasus's cousin, which is a horse, often just coughs like this. But the Pegasus has an extra whoosh.
Andrew, I'm really impressed that you know that kind of stuff. That a Pegasus cousin is a horse. I feel like we could
I
maybe.
spend a lot of time in nature.
I feel like we could maybe talk shop fantasy a little bit.
I
Geek
think
out.
we could.
We could maybe geek out.
I am such a nerd.
I am a total geek.
It's unreal.
I'm an absolute geek.
Oh, I'm a freaking nerdy nerd.
Every single partner of mine in my polyamorous relationship thinks I'm a total geek.
How many people do you have in your relationship?
Currently, it's flex, but right now we have 4, and we're auditioning another, and it's going really well, and I think she's gonna make it in.
How
What
long's
is
the
the
audition process?
It depends on the person. It's rolling admission, but it also depends on the person. So we're gonna see what happens. But she's really fun, and we have a big banquet, and I think we're gonna probably fold her in after the banquet on
Do
Sunday.
people ever get dismissed?
Yes. Yeah, we do have to let them go sometimes because they just aren't pulling their weight in the relationship. What's your name?
Hi. I am. Hi, I'm Natasha N. ENN, and I do Foley mostly for war and big fight scenes like that. War,
That's
military
just like
stuff.
me.
Well, I think you do most combat, skin to skin. I'm
Yeah.
doing machine to machine.
We
you
are
know?
so similar, you and me.
Yeah, we are very similar, actually.
You really attached to her fast.
Yeah.
No, I think I look at you and I feel like you're a sister I never had.
Yeah, no, I feel the exact same way. It's like when, if I could describe it in a noise, it would be.
We have clearly developed two distinct partnerships already, split exactly down the middle.
And I will say, it's great that you guys do nature, but I would say I love your work on skin to skin
Thank you
because
so
most of
much.
my stuff is, machine to machine, metal to metal. And to feel the art and the work of somebody inside that metal, I just love so much.
Because you're really good with guns.
Yes, I do mostly guns, and they're mostly, I bring in a lot of guns into the studio, and that's how I get most of my noises.
That was my big question, Natasha. Do you just pick the gun that's in the movie and then use that same gun for when you're in the
Now,
studio?
see, that's a common misconception. It's kind of like when you have a scene in the water. You wouldn't just bring a little bit of water in. You have to bring in a lot and splash it around more. So usually we bring in bigger guns and then do audio sound effects a lot of the time to add to the guns. So let's just say you have a little handgun. In real life, that gun sounds like tew, tew, tiny, stupid. It's not scary. So in the studio, I'll bring in something like a big bazooka or a big gun a rocket launcher, and I'll launch that off while yelling, and that's usually how we capture it.
So, could you play me a pistol sound what that would sound like for you? A
Oh, yeah.
small handgun in a movie doing what you do?
Yeah, so this is Fast and Furious, the 9th one that's about to come out.
I think that came out.
What?
That one
You
came
didn't
out
tell
about a
me?
year
Did
ago.
you miss your movie?
Oh no, I missed another premiere. I was lost in the work.
Oh,
But anyway,
no.
there's a scene where Vin Diesel pulls out a gun and shoots Ludacris in the leg as a joke. It's a funny haha. And let's just play it.
Hey, you want to see something funny?
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Didn't you think that was funny?
So yeah, that was the sound of
of
a handgun.
That is a hilarious clip.
Thank you. We worked on that sound because I wanted to really, really hit the comedy of that scene.
I like how you made the sounds of Vin Diesel screaming.
Yes. Well, that actually is part of the gun. I kind of like to add a little bit of a
Oh, of
Natasha and
course.
flair, and all my guns scream a little.
Wow.
That's how you know it's my movie.
So that's so funny because now I'll look out for it when I'm
Yeah.
watching movies
And
and,
it's
stuff.
yes.
I think it's going to be hard not to hear it now that
No.
we
No,
know
I
about
don't
it.
think so.
Yeah.
I think I watched a movie recently that I wonder if it was your work. It was a movie about the revolutionary. It was some revolution movie.
Yeah. Revolution 4.0.
Yes, about the American Revolution in the future.
Yes, it's the American Revolution in the future, set in the future. Yes, you caught me. I was in that movie.
Because I did look to my husband and I said, those guns are quite high pitch.
Yeah.
And it sounds like something's happening at the end of them.
Yeah, they yell.
And Natasha, I noticed you said I was in that movie. So do you consider when you have sounds in a movie that you are in the movie?
Yes, I do, but I also played a role in that movie.
did?
Yes, I was.
Oh, so you're a member of
I
SAG.
love the Revolutionary War. And I said, look, I did a deal with them. Look, I'll do this movie for free. Put me in as an extra. I want to fight. I want to fight.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
great. So, yeah.
So I'd love to know, I know you have a signature. I'd love to know what everyone's signature is, if they feel like they have a sound that they excel in the most. You know, a
Or what
sound
put
that
you on
most-
the map?
What put you on the map? I love that. Yeah, let's shift my question.
I think it's the same thing. What are you good
No, it's
at?
great. What are you good at? And what was the first thing that got you known? I
Well,
think
can
that's
I
great.
say for
I think
you,
that's great.
the scene in I've gotta give it to you. I watched Boxing in a Big Bath, your short film thesis that you did, and
At the University of Rhode Island?
at the University of Rhode Island, and I was blown away on the sounds of those fists
That was so
hitting
long
flesh.
ago.
I know.
Oh, thank you so much. That job got me a $1 Million Baby with
Yes.
Hillary Swank.
Hillary Swank.
Yes.
Wait, so you did a thesis? Was this your thesis film, just the Foley part? Because I didn't know you could do that in film school.
Well, that's what my professor said. And I said, well, this is where greatness begins, is when I produce a film that's just Foley. And can that tell a story on its own?
And it really did. It really did.
No one says that. Usually they just say it's a black screen.
It's a black screen with a bunch of weird noises going on.
and I'm so glad you
Yes,
said that.
Because specifically, also, we should clarify Foley does no dialogue. It's just the noises. It's just the noises.
We
of
aren't
things.
dubbing anything.
We don't
No.
dub.
So was it periods of time? Because most movies do have dialogue in them. Did you take a break for the dialogue and
You-
leave a black screen?
You just
for
have
those
to see it. You
parts?
just have to see it. Like,
It's
can we
just-
play a
it's-
clip? Is that all right if we play a clip?
From my thesis film
I
from
would
25
just,
years
I love
ago?
it so much. Yes.
My God, you're so kind. Let's roll film.
Splat.
Finn. So I let one person come in for ADR to do the end where it said Finn.
How long did that take?
Oh, we did a couple takes, just a couple.
Oh,
Just like 20. But the whole film took me my whole grad school.
2 years.
2 full years. Did that for 2 full years. And when I sent it around, the director, Clint Eastwood, when I sent him that film, I was like, this is a short film I made. He thought it was my demo reel because there's no picture. And I was like, what's the difference between that and my short? I don't know. And it got me the job anyway.
That's great.
I have a big question about boxing movies because I know you do a lot of hand to hand and hand to body. In boxing, there's of course a glove. Is that somebody else or is that also you?
So I have a glove guy
Okay.
I work with. He's awesome. His name is Paul McCartney, no relation.
I know Paul McCartney.
I love Paul McCartney.
He's-
I worked with Paul McCartney a lot of
the
times.
glove guy.
Yeah,
the
so
glove guy.
I
A
bring
lot
him
of
in.
gloves in space. So I
Oh
bring him in all the
wow,
time.
you work with
yeah.
Paul.
I bring him in all the time. I love Paul McCartney.
He's great.
Yeah.
Paul's a good guy, and he does his one thing, and he does it really well.
Yeah.
Lots
know what I
of
mean?
gloves in war. There's a lot of scenes of people putting on gloves in war.
Yeah. Well,
There it is.
him and we started working together back in the day because what I started doing was because I should say, even though that Time article came out about me about violence and the hitting, I really started with body on body contact, and I started in college. I loved making the sounds. I'll be real. Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I love for
Please.
honesty.
I
love
was
for
struggling
honesty.
to pay for my school bills, and a man
Yeah, University
online,
of Rhode Island is expensive.
a man online offered me 10 grand to send him the sounds of 2 bodies having sex without voice. So just hip on hip.
Yes.
And that's what
So-
got me into the business because I needed that money so badly and I thought I could do this. And that's when I built my first fake body and I started putting these bodies on top of each other because he didn't want any voice. He
You
just
don't
wanted
say.
he wanted the sound of it.
So when you go in, you recreate bodies for your
Yes,
sound.
yes. So and then Paul is when I met Paul because we started dealing with body on body with clothes sometimes.
Mhm.
So Paul came in and we were doing some glove stuff and that's when he found his glove method.
Yeah.
So that's really how I started.
Wow.
Amazing. That is awesome.
And that man sent me 10 grand.
Wow.
I don't know
That's
who
good.
that sick fuck is, but he paid for my schooling.
That's
Wow.
great.
That's awesome.
Wow, also, tuition was only $10,000.
I
So
miss the days.
What a bargain.
I miss the days.
Well, what's your
Incredible.
signature?
Well, my calling card is I don't know if you noticed this when you watch the Animal Planet, but all of my grass rustling sounds, the grass rustles with a childlike curiosity that
Wow.
distinguishes it from other grass rustling. So if you play, I'll just play a quick clip of this. Hmm. Oh. You don't say.
That grass is so damn curious.
And yeah,
Wow.
I will say though, you don't say it's not very childlike. It feels more like 60-year-old man
Kind of.
reading the news.
It feels like a man walking through a museum.
yeah.
Well,
I'm enthralled.
I am a man of age, and so I am just guessing at what a child thinks.
But I do love that.
But that did put me on the map.
I have to be honest. I do kind of sometimes imbibe in marijuana products for my body, for my health, And I've watched some nature documentaries that
Yes.
you've done, and when I am high on marijuana, watching those nature documentaries, they freak me out.
Yes, very.
When the grass
you
says
should
you
try
don't sing.
CBD, because you will not be afraid of my inquisitive grass or my angry birds.
Oh yes.
I don't want to be afraid of your inquisitive grass. I don't, so I'll buy that.
I was late at night, maybe 3 a.m., watching your father's documentary of the Okavango Delta, and all the birds started yelling. And I thought Satan had come. I thought it was the witching hour, and I thought I was dead. It was terrifying.
Yes, they do yell in a rather Old Testament style fire and brimstone way. Not in so many words, but in the cacaws, they are screaming that they will be not saved in the rapture.
And what did you say that was? What's CBD?
CBD is basically all of the calming effects of marijuana THC, but without any of the anxiety or psychoactive effects.
If I can help you, THC for me is more like, oh, wah, oh, wah, oh, wah, oh, wah. But CBD is more like, oh, wah, oh, wah.
Well,
It's
that
kinda like
sold
the
it for
difference
me. I
between-
like that. That sold
Yes,
it.
it's the difference between. So it's they have these CBD roll-ons which go.
Wow.
So much softer.
They should be paying you guys. CBD should be paying you guys because this is a glowing endorsement in my book.
CBD, the difference for me is THC is. That's THC.
Yes.
But CBD is more.
You chew
Because
it.
I do the lozenges.
Yes, I chew it.
Okay, so THC to me sounds like. When CBD sounds like. Just a constant.
Yes. No,
So,
I hear it.
Can I maybe if I
You
if,
try,
if
yeah.
I'm synthesizing all of this, it sounds to me like THC is maybe a little.
Yes.
Whereas maybe CBD is a little more.
I just don't
I
think you're
disagree.
getting
I
it. No, I
disagree.
don't think you're getting it.
Also, I'm
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Okay.
That sounded the
So
CBD
let's go
one
again.
So
Okay.
you haven't tried CBD before,
Yes.
so I understand why
It's why
get
you would
this
be
wrong.
confused.
You're
You
sounding
would
more
say-
tense when you do
Yeah,
CBD.
it sounds like you did actually like a hybrid of the two, like
Okay.
a 40-20. You were close.
Okay.
But it's to specialize, to use your terminology of whooshes and bangs of the supernatural world. THC is more. And CBD is more.
Oh yeah,
Are you-
that
are
makes
you
a lot of
getting it
sense.
now?
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. to
Okay,
me.
so THC, I would say is when CBD is
You know, I recognize that first sound you did. That was the truck that was in the recent Michael Bay movie Ambulance. Am I right?
They
That
brought
was
me
it,
in
huh?
contractually. It was one thing I did outside of
Oh,
what I
I
usually
wanted that
do.
movie so
Oh,
bad.
wait, that was the Foley artist for that was a Sly McFake name, right? And I always have been wondering who
Cat's
that
out
was.
of the bag. Cat's out of the bag. I am
You
Sly
do it
McFake
under
name.
a pseudonym, like J.K. Rowling.
So my reps told me I got to do one thing and I got to do it good. And I noticed that, you know what, I can do a lot of things. So I've been going out for some stuff
That's so-
under
you've been
a name that I made up,
So
believe
as
it or not.
to dilute the brand. That is genius.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I made this name up. My husband is so damn creative.
I thought it was.
And he said to me, here's
Yes.
a name you can use. And I said, my husband should be a writer.
I
So my
thought it
pseudonym
was-
is Sly McFake.
Yes, I
name.
always said it. I thought it was Sly McFuckiname, and I just was an idiot.
You were just pronouncing it how a name would be
I
pronounced
thought it was
instead
fuckiname.
of...
McFuckiname.
No, it's Sly McFake name. I
That
can't
is
believe
so
it.
It makes
crazy. I
so
can't
much more
believe I'm
sense.
sitting here with Sly McFake name.
I
You're
mean,
great.
he works a lot.
He does work a
He
lot.
does work a lot.
And I wear a hat when I'm Sly McFake name.
Okay.
Oh, that's great because no one can see you when you do this.
Well, it's in my home studio, so I could separate them. You know.
Yeah.
It's for
you're
yourself.
Putting on the
It's
putting
for
Your
on
you.
work
thing.
self and your fake self. It's like severance when you become a different person.
So, would you say the vibe of Brittany Nono is like, ooh, 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 but the vibe of Sly McFake name is like, ooh, 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 yeah, ooh, ooh, ooh.
I think you hit it on the head. I think that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think Brittany No is me. This is me.
Oh, she's got an ego.
And Sly McFake name is
Very different.
it's like Beyonce and
Her alter ego, Sasha
Sasha
Fierce.
Sasha Fierce.
I love Sasha.
I love
We
Sasha Fierce.
the
Not so
noises
hot
that
on
she makes.
Beyonce,
No.
though.
Where did Sasha go? I'm wondering when she's coming back.
And the work that she did on her album, if you listen closely, she's doing Foley. Sasha Fierce is
You think
doing
so?
Foley. Yeah.
Oh, I have a question for you guys. I always love to know where you got your most surprising inspiration. You know, Foley artists, we see the world differently. We hear different noises. We say, oh, I need to remember that noise for the future. I need to take that and I need to use that when that comes up. You know, I remember I made the sound of a slime monster coming through a door. I found that after I dropped a double stuffed Oreo into a glass of milk. I was trying to. It was too slippery for me.
So kind of like goink.
and the
That's
double
exactly
stuffed.
it.
I could imagine normal stuff would be gung,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and double stuff would be
Goink.
wow.
Yeah, and that's when I found it. And so when the slime monster comes in, he's going,
Goink.
and then all of a sudden he eats everyone. And
Yes,
so that was
yes,
something
that's
that I had
great.
discovered. What is a noise that you guys found and you said, wait a minute, there's something here?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I heard water. Water. It was raining, and it was raining on this big metal tarp, and the metal tarp accidentally fell because the wind blew, and it gave me the idea of what it would sound like if somebody blew up a hospital in the
So
rain.
kind of the hospital blowing up would sound like ping, 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 ping,
Yes.
ping.
Yes, like
So that was the
Now, were you searching for what that sound would be like? I imagine
I
you
was
see that in the
stuck.
script and you go, where do I begin?
yes. There was this scene because a hospital is not just like any other building.
Full of machinery.
Full of machinery, you got to capture it. And so when I saw this script, it came across and it says he blows up the hospital, and I thought, well, we've got a problem here. I don't know what this sounds.
I was
crazy.
going through the script of one of my Animal Planet episodes, and
Can I ask a question? Do they dialogue out all the animals?
yes, they do. So there is a plant. I'm sorry to burst some bubbles, but Animal Planet documentaries, they are scripted.
Oh, wow.
I'm not just
I didn't
talking
know
about the narration. I am talking, of course, about the animals and what they do. And so there came a point in the script where a rhino was going to step into a spooshy pile of mud. Now,
Spooshy.
a spooshy. Now, I was able to recreate this by going to my gym. This is, of course, a gym for children. The beanbags they have to sit on in the rest area are smaller. So I was able to recreate the punching of the beanbag, which is, of course...
Wow. It's like I'm hearing a rhino step into
It's
mud.
like him on the Serengeti. That's amazing.
Exactly.
The Serengeti.
Serengeti?
That's a squoosh.
How do you pronounce it? I've only seen it written.
It's Serengeti.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway, what was your most surprising noise?
I think my husband and I on Saturdays we go to the library.
That's so
And-
fun.
He's not a writer,
He's not. Can you believe he thought of Sly McFake name?
and he loves libraries.
He loves libraries. He's not a writer. So we're at the library, and I try to put my work away. I try. It's a Saturday, and I heard a woman close a cookbook. It was a big book. And suddenly I went,
Oh, yeah.
that's the thrusting of two people hooking up in Manhattan.
Yes.
So kind of.
It was, I can't do it without the specific
like-
book. And I went up to that woman because here's the thing. We work with, every book is a different sound when it closes,
Yeah.
right?
Do you remember the cookbook? I'd love to know.
I think it was Julia Child's, just,
Oh, okay.
just The Joy of Cooking.
Those are big.
I have
Those are
all of them.
big.
I'm going to go try those out at home.
Yes, and I'll say, I was across the library, and like a loud, obnoxious person, I said, stop it. I went, put that book down. And I grabbed that book out of her hands. She was so scared, and I went, I'm sorry, I can't turn off the work in me. That sound right there, I've been looking for weeks. So I use a certain size cookbook sometimes. They come in really awkward big sizes. That's not a coffee table book and it's not a chapter book.
I hate that size, by the way. What do you do with it? I'm trying to cook.
You can't put it in a bookshelf either.
You can't put it anywhere.
I
not
know.
gonna
It
fit
takes
in
up
your
so much
kitchen.
counter room.
Yeah, I can't even do my mise en
There's
place.
no room for my spices to go.
You think they'd make these
like when
things
this
smaller?
happens, it kind of makes me feel like, like when this happens, you guys.
Oh, I have
totally.
a fun game. How about we play one of our sounds that we've made for one of our movies, and we all have to guess what it is.
I love this game. Yes.
Guess how we made it or what the sound of that is.
I like the first one.
the first one.
Okay,
No,
so what
the-
that sound is.
What that sound is.
Okay, great.
Okay, that
Okay.
sounds
Guess
like
what
fun.
that sound is.
Okay, here we go.
Okay,
Here we go.
I'll go first. Ready?
Can I buzz in?
Yes, go ahead.
A gun.
Yes, that's
Okay, can I
exactly
buzz
what
in?
it is.
AK-47.
Closer.
Can I buzz in? One of those machine guns they shoot off the top of a car in a World War II movie.
Oh my gosh, it got more specific and more specific. It was the top machine gun on the top of a World War II Jeep.
Oh, I was close.
Let's hear it again so you guys can tell. Ah! Ah!
And to be clear, that scream is just your signature.
It's my signature.
Okay.
It's
Wow,
not
so
somebody
you're a member
screaming.
of SAG as well, huh?
Yes, I work with
You do
SAG.
ADR and the Foley. Wow.
I mostly just do commercials.
Oh, good for you. Okay, my turn.
Cool.
Can I buzz in? That's two people having sex.
Can I buzz in? That's somebody trying to wake a baby up.
Can I buzz in?
Yes.
This is two people. They met at a bar and they had an instant connection. One asks to go to the other's apartment. The other is reluctant. She just got out of a relationship, but maybe, just maybe, tonight is the night. They go upstairs and then they have a surprisingly nurturing sexual encounter. It does not last long, but it is fulfilling.
It was a baby waking a baby up.
Oh, thank you so
Oh,
much.
darn it.
That's
It
amazing.
was waking a baby up, but you were
That's
so
amazing.
close.
Yes.
You were
Oh,
so
I
close.
felt like I was close.
Just quick question, and we'll get back to the game. How do you feel like growing up in Werner Herzog's house affected you?
Must have been
I
wild.
think I'm just like every other boy. I would stand up in the morning, and Werner would be in another room, off screen, so to say, sort of narrating what I was doing. He would say things like, "The boy has arisen from his morning nap. He proceeds to the bathroom to urinate and relieve himself of yesterday's water."
The craziest thing for me is how he called sleeping a morning nap.
He proceeds into the kitchen to nourish his belly with the cereal of the gods. This is, of course, Poseidon, Captain Crunch.
Poseidon, Captain Crunch.
It would go henceforth from there.
Wow. That does seem very normal. And I do like how you work for Animal Planet. Does your dad have any really strong feelings about that?
He likes, well, he's a little disappointed that I'm not going a little more artistic and advanced, of course. Werner tends to tackle big projects, and he think I sold out to the networks.
Yes, because Animal Planet doesn't really have a lot of nature documentaries. It's more like nature reality TV shows.
A
Yeah,
lot
we
of it.
have
My
gone
cat,
that direction,
my cat
yes.
from hell. Do you do my cat from hell?
I do my cat from
You work
hell.
on my cat from hell.
I love Jackson, Maine. Isn't that his name? No, that's not his name.
No, it's
Jackson.
Do you work on Caesar
Dean?
Milan? Do you work on Caesar
Yes,
Milan?
Caesar Milan. So he comes over. I do a lot of Caesar's leather jackets hitting the doors as he walks in the houses to train.
So Caesar, and that makes sense. They shoot that show on a very long lens.
That lens could be further away.
I've heard that
They
everybody's
have
so
the
scared of
lens
the
on
dogs.
a moving train hundreds of feet away.
Well, it's like a safety issue.
Yeah.
When you have all those pit bulls.
I also heard they only get clearance to be in every other zip code. So if they're shooting in one zip code, they have to be in another one on the far away.
It's true. It makes it difficult for the camera department.
challenge.
Not so difficult for me because I get more work and therefore more income.
Okay, game.
Norman,
Let's go back
Norman,
to
I
game.
wanna hear your sound,
I have a
Norman.
noise that I would love for you guys to guess this. This is one of my favorite noises I ever made.
Oh, yay, Norman.
Okay, can we hear it one more time?
Sure.
I would say an alien going back and forth in time. Oh, I'm so sorry. May I buzz in?
Yeah, I was really freaked out you hadn't buzzed in. Yes, you may buzz in.
Okay, I'll say it again. This was an alien going back and forth in time.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, that's a good guess.
anyone?
May I buzz in?
You may.
I'm gonna guess it's a lady alien's water breaking.
Okay.
May I buzz in?
Mhm.
I think it's maybe what it is an alien punching another alien through the belly, and it's the noise of the spine popping out of the back of the chest.
Those are all wonderful guesses. It was the sound of a spaceship opening.
Damn it, I should have thought of a door.
Okay, can we hear it one more
A lot
time?
of people don't remember that there aren't just aliens in space. There are doors, there are ships.
So
Wait.
true.
That made me think of some of your work, Norman.
Oh.
When I saw, there was an alien movie of some sort that I saw,
Yeah.
and an alien flushed the toilet, and it made me giggle.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, that's a toilet in space.
Well, you're probably thinking of Spinkle.
I loved Spinkle. It was so beautiful.
It was really so the pitch in the room, because this is one of the first movies they brought me on as a Foley artist to pitch it, which I've never been involved
heard
in
of
the
It was
I
get-go.
never heard
you
of.
and Matt Damon
It
in
was
a room.
me, Matt Damon, and Ava DuVernay. And we went in, we went all over the place, and we pitched this funny little thing called Spinkle, and it was E.T. meets Dodgeball. And it was really fun. It was a bunch of aliens living in space, and there's a big tournament, and the aliens have to go up against each other.
Spinkle.
And I'll tell you what, this was a Foley artist's wet dream. Aliens throwing balls, aliens going against each other. I mean, it was all me.
I am getting excited just thinking
This
about
sounds
that.
like a
thinking about it.
blast. This sounds like a
I'm
blast.
thinking about it, and I'm glowing thinking about it because it was the most fun.
I bet all your partners felt so neglected when you were working on it because you were working so hard.
My partner said, are we going to have to throw a banquet for Spinkle? That was the joke around the house. Like it was going to be our new partner we were inviting into the relationship. Of course, that's not the case.
Of course not. Do you ever worry that your partners may dismiss you?
Oh, yes, that's what keeps it healthy. We're all constantly worried and we're all trying to carry our weight. I think a good relationship is worrying that if you stop putting forth something, you'll be dismissed.
Wow. I
Well,
mean, do you
that's
guys
That's a
feel
great
like
question, yeah.
do you guys feel like you have trouble in just like with my husband, he's trying to constantly tell me to stop working because it's hard for me. He brought me for our 25th anniversary. He brought me to Flappers Comedy in Burbank.
I love flappers.
And it was such a good
I
time.
love
But
flappers.
would you believe when we were leaving, I couldn't get my ear off the floor because I loved listening to the people walking on this 3-inch stage.
Yes.
I was on all fours, just
Oh.
listening.
I'm a sucker for a hollow stage. I mean, if I hear one, I just run. I mean, it's
Yes.
so interesting.
I needed to
listen
hear it, and he was like, "Honey, get up. This is embarrassing. You're on the ground." And it's an interesting
And
person to be married
those
to.
are stand-up
Yes,
Foley
it's-
comedians. They'll make
it's
fun of you.
been tough on my relationships as well because I used to date or I was married to rather another Foley artist.
Oh.
And her name was Miranda Lambert, no relation. And
To Adam Lambert?
her
No, the
Miranda
singer,
Lambert.
the famous country singer,
Yeah,
Miranda
the
Lambert.
famous singer
maybe-
Adam Lambert.
No,
Okay.
there's
Which no
two.
relation.
So
Adam Lambert and
famous-
Miranda Lambert are not related to each other, and this Miranda Lambert and the other Miranda Lambert are also not related to
But
each other.
Miranda Lambert, no relation, is related to real Adam Lambert.
That's what I had a feeling.
That's what I said. That's what I was
That's
asking.
what you were saying. Okay, I got confused. But anyway, we as Foley artist married couple developed sort of a Foley language. So a lot of times if we were thinking I love you, we would say
What an awful noise for I love you.
but it worked for us. And so when eventually we
For
got
how-
divorced,
What part of I love
Could
you
you
is that
imagine?
noise?
Do
Could you
not
imagine-
criticize love. Love
so
comes in all
it's the
forms.
sound of two paint scrapers scraping against each other.
Oh, that is sweet,
That's
just
sexy.
sweet.
like
That's
love.
sexy.
Beautiful.
And so when we divorced and I dated a new woman, she could not pick up on the language
Oh,
when I
that's
said
tough.
She did not know it meant I
She
love
must have
you.
thought there was some sort of Amber Alert or something going off.
Yes, she kept checking her phone
Yes, I
saying
have the-
license plate.
My boyfriend, he's great. His name is Gami, and he is so mad when I bring work home because, like, how else do you talk about the day? You know, I'm like, okay, so then we go in and it was just like, and then, and then it was
Oh,
like,
when the mosh pit gets blown up at the end.
yes, the mosh pit. And then I saw I was shooting this movie, and this car flipped, and it was like, and Gami is like, "What are you going on about? I don't understand a word you're
I
saying."
hate him. That's so rude.
Yeah, he's very,
Well,
very
they gotta
mean.
let you have your process. They have to.
I know,
Absolutely.
and
They
my
must
process is
respect
talking
that.
to anybody about it. You know,
Absolutely.
I would love to all go around and say how we would say I love you in a sound
Mm.
before we end this off
Oh,
because
that's so nice.
I think it I really when you said I feel like I got closer to you.
And I feel that way about all of you. I know it's only been 44 minutes together, but I believe that we have such a connection. And if you don't mind, I would love to get some
I would love that
after
too.
love
this.
that.
Oh, maybe also some.
Oh my God,
Mm.
meatballs? I would
Meatballs.
love to grab meatballs.
What about a little bit of a
Vino. Oh, sorry,
Ooh, it's a
beer.
dark
beer.
cab.
Beer.
Like a stout or a porter.
It's either a stout or a cab, yeah.
That was either Cabernet Sauvignon or a
similar.
Pilsner.
He's so similar. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and maybe after we could go a little.
Roku City.
We can go to Roku City.
And maybe after we can go some Jimmy got skinny dipping? I think so.
Oh, ice cream.
Ice cream. Ice cream.
I would love after the ice cream, maybe we
road trip, drive in a car.
I hope our car doesn't break down like you intoned.
But maybe what we can do after that is we're going up.
Musical chairs on top of the Americana fountain.
Okay, but I'm seeing a huge life for us, and I think I really see in our future someday a beep.
I could tell in this scenario probably 2 to 3 weeks to live.
And I think it's an in-home hospice versus hospital hospice.
Oh, yes, definitely in home.
And just because it's my thing, I would love to feel like what this feels like when it blows up, you know? Would be such a fun thing to blow up later.
Absolutely.
I would love to blow
I
it
want to
up.
answer your question. I love you, the sound.
Yes, what's your
I love
sound?
you for me has got to be. Ah!
Ah, yes, I felt
That had a
that.
little spinkle in there.
I when you do one, it sticks with you sometimes.
Oh.
And I'll never not have a little bit of spinkle in me.
Okay, what about you?
The noise for love for me is. Don't drop it. Don't drop it. I've got to. I've got to do it. Press the button, damn it.
That is love. That was beautiful.
Love.
That is love for me.
I'll say I love you to you guys right now, too, in my own way.
I'm gonna cry.
That's so beautiful.
I really.
I'm going to cry.
Obviously, is I love you, but how I say I love you very much is 407 years ago, our forefathers fought for this great land.
This has been Artist on Artist on Artist on Artist answering the question. Now that's why they call it showbiz. Good night, Hollywood.
Artists on Artists on Artists on Artists is an improvised Hollywood roundtable podcast created, performed, and produced by Kylie Brakeman, Jeremy Colhane, Angela Giratana, and Patrick McDonald. AOAOAOA is a Sugar 23 podcast. Mike Mayer and Michael Sugar executive producers, Liam Billingham producer. Production support by Angelo Restaino and Anthony Defranchesco. Music is by Gabriel Ponton. The opinions expressed on this podcast do not reflect the opinions of anyone who works on it, not even the performers, because this is an improvised podcast and we're stupid. Full video versions of AOAOAOA are available on YouTube, so please like and subscribe and leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. That's all for now. Good night, Hollywood!